Take a deep breath in. Chapter 11. That same morning, Jazz, running on only 5 hours sleep, blew off both coffee with Howie and homeroom to return to the sheriff's office. It wasn't quite 8, and Lana hadn't come in yet for the morning shift. A lone deputy sat at a desk in a corner, mousing around on a website. Deputy Erickson was nowhere to be seen, which made Jazz gladder than he'd like to admit. He walked past the empty receptionist desk and straight back to G. Williams' office. G. William, an early riser, was always the first person in the office, and today was no exception. "Where's the new guy?" Jazz asked as he barged in without knocking. "Figured he'd be an early bird, catching the worm, all that stuff." "Even deputies get days off, Jazz," G. Williams said. "I'm willing to bet you're not here to check the man's time card, though." "I figured it out," Jazz announced. He tossed a plastic sandwich bag on G. Williams' desk. He taped it shut and stuck a label on it recording where and when he'd found the toe ring. G. William flicked a glance at the ring and then pushed it aside. "Little early in the morning for shenanigans, Jazz. Okay with you if I get my coffee first?" "I figured out who Jane Doe is," Jazz said in disbelief, following G. William to the office's ancient coffee machine. It reeked of years of burned coffee. "Don't you care?" G. William said nothing as he poured the day's first coffee into his cup. He said nothing as he took his first sip, winced so much his mustache quivered, then marched back into his office and planted himself behind his desk. And he still said nothing as he nursed a swallow of more coffee and finally held up the makeshift evidence bag, squinting at the ring within. "I don't want to hear you tell me that you went to the crime scene," G. Williams said. "In fact, if I hear you tell me that, I'll have to do official things. You read me?" Jazz fidgeted for a moment, then said, "I was at the creek, on the Harrison property. That's not technically the crime scene, although it should have been from the start." He couldn't keep a note of haughty disdain out of his voice. The sheriff's eyes narrowed. "Her initials are FG, Jazz said, determined to prove to G. William that he knew what he was doing. "The ring's inscription. It took me a while, but I figured it out. It looks like a code. Howie said it looked like a robot's name, but it's a dedication. 4FG from DR. Weird to get a toe ring engraved, I guess, but it takes all kinds, right? You can do a cross-check on national databases for missing persons with the initials." "Her name's Fiona Goodling," G. Williams said in a flat tone. "Went missing 2 weeks ago outside Atlanta. Boyfriend's name is Doug Reeve. Occasionally, if you let us use both hands and a flashlight, we poor pathetic cops can find our own asses." Jazz felt a shameful blush burn across both cheeks and touch as far back as his ears. "Oh," was all he could think of to say. "She spent her summers teaching swim classes for kids at the YMCA, so she had to have a background check, fingerprinting, the whole 9 yards. I got the call from IAFIS last night at home. Was just about to call her family." Jazz could still think of nothing to say. He'd been so convinced that he knew better than the cops what was going on, that he was the only one who could crack this case. And now he felt withered under G. Williams' glare. It was one thing to defy the sheriff, breach a crime scene, and interfere with an investigation if you were the only hope. It was another thing entirely when all you did was confirm what the cops already knew. G. Williams stared at him, as if daring him to speak. And Jazz decided that he wasn't afraid of G. William. "Is Atlanta PD going to set up a task force? You'll need to be involved. Jazz," G. Williams said in a not unkind tone of voice. "You got serial killers on the brain, kid, and I understand that, but this isn't a serial killer. Cutting off the fingers, serial killers," G. William went on as if he hadn't been interrupted, "have well-defined comfort zones that they kill in. Jeopardy surfaces. No serial killer is going to kill a woman in Atlanta and then drive her body all the way here to dump it. It's too far out of his home turf." "Billy had a comfort zone the size of the country," Jazz snarled. "The size of the world. You should know that." You of all people. The sheriff's expression hardened. Whatever reservoir of sympathy he had for Jazz, it wasn't deep enough to put up with that kind of backtalk. Her family will appreciate getting this back, he gestured to the tow ring. And I'm warning you, stay the hell out of my crime scenes. You have to go public. You have to leak that someone saw something that night. Force the guy to come in and give some excuse for why he was seen there. That's how you... Don't tell me my business, G. William thundered, rising from his chair. His face went from white to red to purple in less than a second. Don't you dare tell me. Not when it comes to this. Jazz backed up to the door. There will be more killings, he said as darkly as he knew how. For Billy Dent's son, that was pretty dark. G. William seemed visibly shaken. I give you a warning. Heed it. And isn't today a school day? Jazz opened his mouth to speak, but knew that whatever he said would be lost on G. William, so instead he left.